All right, something new. I figured out something new. So I'm going to share with you the same page that you have hopefully in front of you. And the last lesson for this week is an algebra lesson because we're talking about the properties of addition and subtract or addition when it has to do with fractions. So remember some of the properties of addition. The commutative property means that it does not matter which order that you add in, that the answer will be the same. So 6 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 6. Yeah, easy. All right, the associative property of addition means that you can, if there's more than two numbers on a side in an equation, it doesn't matter which ones you group together. When it's all addition, you can group together the 3 and the 6 to make 9 plus 4, or you can group together the 6 plus 4 to make 10 plus 3. Both sides are going to equal 13. So let me do this. Both sides, so this is 9 here. 9 plus 4 is 13, or 10 plus 3 is 13. So it doesn't matter which side you group together to make on the addition, on the equation. When it's all addition, you can pick what numbers go together best in your head. Like to me, I would rather use the 6 and the 4 to go together to make 10 when I'm adding those three numbers. So you need to think about what numbers go together best for you in your head when you're adding and subtracting fractions. So, oh, that's weird. Oh, I need the mouse to do that. Okay. Oh, okay, so clear. All right, I'm gonna move it down a little bit. So what it's saying is look for, when we're adding the fractions, look for the fractions that make 1. So if you're adding these three numbers right here, 10 and 3/8, 4 and 7/8, plus 6 and 5/8, I can see that 5 and 3 make 8. So I'm gonna add those together first because 8/8 is 1 whole. So I would put those together to make 8/8. And now I just have, so what I'm gonna do is just take, here, let me get my little drawing thing. I'm gonna move 5/3, or the 3/8 over here to make, instead of having these, I'm just gonna cross them out and I'm gonna add 1 to my 6 right here. So now I have 7 and I have 10 and I have 4 and 7/8. That makes it way easier. So 7 and 10 and 4, and then I just have the 7/8 left over. So that makes things so much easier. So what you need to do when you're looking at these groups of numbers down here, and we're going to do some together because this is a little bit of a tricky thing to do in our heads when it has to do with fractions. So what we're going to need to do is look for numbers that go together to make that whole in our fraction. So here we go. If we look at number 1, which numbers, it does not matter. Really, the parentheses in this, I don't even know why they put them in, because when you have addition, like when we think about, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, PEMDAS, it says to do the parentheses first. But when it's all addition, it doesn't really matter, because remember, the associative property tells us that we can group these together or we can group these together. We're going to come out with the same answer. So group together what makes sense in your head. Our denominator for this set of fractions is 5. So we're dealing with fifths. And I see a 1 and a 4. To me, that goes together to make fifths. So 1/5 and 4/5 makes 1 whole. So I'm going to cross out 1/5 and 4/5. So those fractions are gone now, and I'm just going to add 1 whole to this thing. So now all I have 3. I'm going to not think about the fraction 1 right now, plus 4 plus 1. And then all I have left to add at the end is my mixed number. That's the only thing left over, 1 and 2/5. So, oh. All right. All right. 3 plus 4 plus 1. 3 plus 4 is 7. 8. 9 is 9. And now I have my 2/5. Oh, I'm going to get my mouse back. All right. I'm going to circle my answer because that's the best thing to do. All right. Let me see if my mouse will work better. Okay, that's better. So here we go with number 2. 5 and 7/10, 1 and 4/10, 6 and 3/10. So we're looking for numbers that go together to make that denominator. The denominator is 10. What two numbers in this group of numbers of the numerators makes 10? 7 and 4, nope, that makes 11. 4 and 3, nope, that makes 7. 7 and 3 make 10. So I have this numerator of 3 and this numerator of 7 that make 10. So I'm going to cross out these fractions. I now have 10/10. 10/10 equals 1 whole. So I'm just going to add 1 whole to the end of this group. So now what I have is 5 plus, oh, that does not look like a 5. Hold on, it looks like a 6. 5 plus, ignore my fraction, my mixed number right now. 5 plus 6 plus the 1 that I just made, putting those tenths together. And my final thing I'm going to add is that mixed number that has the whole number and the fraction together. Oh, that is a 10. Okay, so 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 1 is 12, plus 1 more is 13, right? Yes. So we have 13 and 4/10. I hope your guys' writing is better than mine with using a mouse, right? Better be. All right, I do see that 4/10 is, they are both even numbers. The numerator and the denominator are even. So I can, the super student way of answering that would keep the 13, and I'm going to divide 4 and 10 by 2 to get 2/5. Try to write on the line, unlike me who can't do it with this mouse. Sorry, guys. All right, 13 and 2/5 is our answer for that one. All right, we'll do one more, and then I think you can handle this on your own. Oh, lovely. Look, they already have a whole number here. It's a 5. So we're really only dealing with 2 fractions, and those 2 fractions add up to make 1 whole, right? 3/4 and 1/4 make 1 whole. So we're going to cross those fractions out because it's way easier to add whole numbers than fractions. And we're going to add 1 whole to the end. So 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1 extra because we put those fractions together. So 7, ooh, look at what I have here. I have a 7 and a 3 that make 10, and I like making 10. So we have 10 plus 5 plus 1. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Look at that, right on the line, and I made my beautiful numbers. So hopefully that makes sense to you. It looks like a bunch of jambalaya on my page right now, but if you don't understand it, if it is confusing to you, please call in and I will help you understand it. But good luck and I hope to see you if you don't understand. All right, see you later. Why is